been rocking your world.
There's a lot rocking my world right now. And mainly because I'm coming across this stuff because doing the Hi-Fi Mixtape radio show. Bunch of new stuff that over the last couple of weeks has had me very, very excited. The most important of which, of course, is the new single from Midnight Oil, who have come to save us just in the nick of time in this global climate change crisis and the horrors that is the current Australian federal government and their thinking around climate change. Our environmental activist heroes return with this triumphant new single, Rising Seas, which is also a really, really good song.
Oh, really?
And I love in the film clip, for those of us who are paying attention and have seen the film clip, they actually have Bones Hillman's bass just standing up, like next to the drums, as you know, an homage, of course.
He's still there.
It's a year now, actually, since he passed away.
Yeah. Wow.
So,
that's brilliant.
You could play that if you want.
Yeah, let's have it.
The other thing that really got me very excited last week, which came out of nowhere, no one knew this was happening, but one of my favourite artists, Steve Wilson and Porcupine Tree, are back. They haven't recorded anything since 2012. And like a few weeks ago, there was these weird, mysterious posts were coming up on their Facebook page, and it was like, you know, for more information, sign up here. I'm like, well, of course I'm going to find out what the hell's going on. And yeah, so they've got a new album about to come out called Closure. What's it called? Closure Continuity or Closure Continuation or something like that. The new single Harridan is, it's Porcupine Tree at their best, and it is bloody brilliant.
I don't remember them at their worst.
Oh, I'm going to play you then some.
Okay.
I mean, these guys are the kings of prog rock, and Stephen Wilson, I think, is the most important person in music at the moment. And I honestly believe in due time, we and if we're not, we should be talking about him more so in the same way that people talk about Bowie. That's a big call. He produces, he remixes, he writes, he's collaborated on so many projects. And he's got so many side projects. I mean, you can't sort of say, Porcupine Tree is his main project. And no, I mean, Porcupine Tree, which has been going since the early 90s, is a side project. I mean, he's worked with Tim Bonus on No Man, and they do their Wonder album. What's it called? The Album Years podcast, the Wonder albums. But he's done stuff with Opeth, and he's done stuff with. I think he's been involved with Chroma Key, and it's heaps. And he last year released a solo album which is very pop, actually, very alternative.
Where's he from?
Where
are they from?
UK.
Oh, okay.
UK, yeah.
They sound amazing. That song you played was. Oof.
Man, I got some stuff to play you if you want your mind blown.
Maybe you can make us a playlist and we'll share that as well, and I'll listen to it too.
Yeah.
Cool.
Also, American band War on Drugs have got a new album out, and that's really awesome. I don't know, I've been getting into that a lot. Another thing I want to share with you, because I'm doing the radio show, people are now starting to send me stuff going, hey, have a listen to this.
Oh, cool.
Let me do share screen again. Yeah.
That's nice, isn't it?
An amazing voice. That's an artist called LP. Now, that song's actually from about 2015. So I've only heard it in the last week and a half.
Right. It was big a couple of years ago.
Whoa. I was just... And I was sent that particular video clip too. So it's a live jam session, live session compared to the single version. But that voice...
Yeah, I think I've seen that too. I think I just recently saw it.
Nice. So that was... I love when things happen. It's old, but it drops into your lap and you're just going, where was this?
Yeah.
How did I not hear this?
And there's a whole plethora of albums that you can get into now.
Incredible. And she's just amazing. But she's also a very intriguing looking person too. So, yeah. I don't know if you know this, but Tears for Fears are back.
Yes.
And the new single is so good.
Bring it on.
I'm just gonna keep playing.
Yeah.
You stop.
Go, Mr. DJ.
Oh my goodness.
It's so Tears for Fears.
It sounds like Depeche Mode. Do you reckon?
Yeah.
It sounds like Tears for Fears in 1987, and they look like the guys from Tears for Fears only 40 years old.
I know. They're looking very old, aren't they?
Sounds good.
But how good is it? It's so good. It's so good.
That's exciting, isn't it? That we can have new Tears for Fears. I mean, they'd bring out a whole album, right?
Yeah. I'm hanging for the new album. Placebo got some new stuff out. I'm really loving that. Boomtown Rats have a new EP out, which is totally rocking my world.
What, new?
Like, hey?
New stuff?
New stuff.
Whoa.
New stuff. So having sort of discovered that they weren't a one-hit wonder earlier in the year when we did the one-hit wonders thing, and their back catalogue, and they've just released a 6 or 7 track. No, it's an EP of some description. It's called Out the Back of Boomtown. Yeah. And it's very different. Great. So when you think of Boomtown Rats, you're like, I don't like Mondays. But actually, most of their stuff is actually quite different to that. Interestingly. Martha and the Muffins, my other one-hit wonder discovered that they've got this massive back catalogue. So they've just released an album that's it's called Marthology Intakes and Outtakes. So I think it's maybe demo versions or different versions of stuff from the back catalogue. But they are working on a new album.
Wow.
Tex Perkins and the Fat Rubber Band got a new album.
I love it.
It's so good.
Is this Tex Perkins with another band?
Yeah, the Fat Rubber Band. Yeah, and it's very... right? It's very rootsy, bluesy, great stuff.
I love Tex's voice. It's just
You will love this album.
I love Tex's everything.
All the girls swoon for Tex, and all the boys swoon for the music. Yeah, it's awesome. And also, I don't know if I've mentioned this before. It's been a while now. We were still in lockdown when this came out, but Tim Rogers has joined the Hard-Ons, and they've released an album called "I'm Sorry, Sir, That Riff's Taken," and it's also really good. Being an old Hard-Ons fan from back in the day, it's less punkier, but actually there's got some. But it's sort of like Tim Rogers. It's weird. It's like this. It's the collaboration I never thought would happen. Tim. You and my Hard-Ons kind of gone.
Right.
It's great.
And I like his voice too. Tim Rogers is great. And
he's a great songwriter.
He's a fun dude as well.
Yeah. So there is so much new stuff rocking my world at the moment. It's great. Wow. Melbourne Music Week also starting in beginning of December. So Melbourne's back to life.
So we might actually be able to go and see some of these things.
Yay!
Yeah. Melbourne, I've noticed in the last week or so, has come back to life. I'm just seeing stuff like gigs after gigs being promoted. I mean, the Melbourne Music Week, I think, was meant to be earlier. Now it's in December. There's a whole lot of really cool stuff going on. This is going to be an interesting summer. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
That's what's rocking my world.
Nice.
And we would love to know what's been rocking yours.
You can write your What's Rocking Your World in the comments below in the YouTube. And don't forget to share, like, and subscribe and tell other people who are into this kind of stuff. We've also got the Hits and Giggles Facebook page and the Hits and Gigglers Facebook group and Instagram, which is Daryl at
Hits and Giggles Show.
And we'll also have a Spotify playlist ready to go for what we've been talking about.
Awesome.
Indeed. So thank you very much for joining us, and we'll be back next time with another episode of What's Rocking Your World and or Hits and Giggles. We'll see you next time.